I'm Jessica Cook. I'm in Muncie, Indiana to give you an exclusive look into Caterpillar's rail business. The story coming up tonight. In November, the company announced it could consolidate the facility, which would impact 230 workers. Reporting live at CAT headquarters in Peoria, I'm Jessica Cook for News 25. Eric, all is calm here now in the 700 block of East Republic Street, but there was very heavy police presence here earlier this afternoon. That's because a suspect allegedly involved in an armed robbery went into this house. We're here in the 2100 block of Malone Street, where a short time ago Peoria police recovered a weapon and some clothing. Gary and Gina, we now know the name of a Peoria man who allegedly brought a gun into this transitional school yesterday. Tyler, I'm inside the Ronald Reagan Museum at the president's alma mater. This room is filled with memorabilia of President Reagan, including several items dedicated to his wife, Nancy.
Jessica Cook's live and normal with details. Jess.
Eric, the search for a buyer is over, but another production plant may be out of the picture. There are over 1,100 establishments with food safety licenses in Peoria County. I dug through about 600 of them listed as restaurants on the health department's website. But how does one classify a place as dirty dining? Drain flies, rodent droppings, live and dead cockroaches, no hot water, and an overflow of sewage were just some of the things that we found. What exactly are inspectors looking for, and how do they come up with the score? First, we want to take you to a restaurant that has a great record, scores up in the 90s and even a 100. Welcome to Ludi's in Kickapoo, known for great burgers. Peoria County Health Department Inspector Kate Brown is here to see if Ludi's will pass the test yet again.
Everyone starts out at 100 and you go down from there.
Brown inspects every part of a restaurant from front to back, from the bar to the floor.
I look for overall cleanliness, see if there's any little critters that are not welcome.
Also making sure solution is properly sanitized.
I'm going to look between 200 to 400 parts per million.
There are 45 critical and non-critical violations restaurants can get. Non-critical violations probably won't make anyone sick, but affect overall cleanliness. Critical problems, as you might expect, are worse and are more likely to affect your health. One of the most common critical violations is restaurants not correctly labeling a product after it's opened. Food at the wrong temperature.
38. Temperature's good.
And hand washing.
Turn the faucet back off with a paper towel. Otherwise, you're recontaminating your hands.
Those are the most common mistakes, but Brown says you need to look at more than the score.
Once you look at the entire inspection, then you can draw your conclusion and see whether things were able to be corrected on the spot or if there's a more imminent health hazard and they needed to be closed during that inspection or rechecks need to be followed up.
So what's the secret for how Ludi's maintained higher scores in 2015?
They get a little bonus if we get 100 because it's that important to us, and you know that it takes a little extra effort for everybody to pitch in, everybody to do just a little bit and keep up on it every day.
Another score in the 90s for Ludi's. So which restaurants had the lowest scores? We dug through hundreds of documents from last year to find restaurants who scored the best and those who scored the least. Here's what we found. Around 28 restaurants scored under 80, some even in the 50s. We start off with River City Cafe and Grill in Peoria. It scored a 51 on an inspection in November. It racked up 22 violations, 7 were critical. They include molded provolone cheese and a lack of dishwashing solution. The restaurant was rechecked 2 weeks later and scored an 80. The owner says he's been battling health issues and is working to bring the scores back up. Willie's Tamales got a 56 in September. The critical violations, drain flies throughout, and toilet water draining from a bathroom onto the floor of a kitchen. The establishment was shut down until the problems were fixed, but the next month it was shut down again. Finally, it reopened and finished the year with a 100 and a 95. We called the owner, but have not heard back. Next, Smokin' Notes Barbecue in Peoria scored a 62 in December. It had 20 violations, 4 of them were critical. They include raw ribs stored uncovered on top of a garbage can and hand sanitizer too close to food. The owner tells me he's working to improve that score. And you're probably wondering which restaurants had the best score. There were many with a perfect 100. In fact, there were over 2 dozen. 3 of them are Sweet Cece's, Nick's Deli, and Be Easy. For the full list, head to our website, tnnewsnow.com. Click on the story Dirty Dining. Follow the link at the bottom of the page to see how clean or not so clean your favorite places in the county really are. I'm Jessica Cook. Now back to you. Dental records were the key to identifying Lewis Lowry as the man found on a baseball field in J.C. Park. It's been almost 3 months since the disappearance of 80-year-old Lowry. He was last seen by his wife in his home on a cold December day. Neighbor Debbie Helander says she saw Lowry often.
Elderly gentleman, really nice. He would cut through our yards all the time to go visit his family behind us.
As time went on, Helander says she knew something was very wrong.
Pure shock, extreme worried, because he's an elderly gentleman and very well loved in the neighborhood, you know, and in the town too, actually, you know, and that. So concerned, saying a lot of prayers.
Patrick Keenan has known Lowry for about 35 years and says they worked at the correctional center together. He describes him as a guy who would do anything to help.
Louie would take care of you. If you were a hometown contractor, Louie would cut the red tape for you. He would get you in there, get your work done.
The park where Lowry was found is just over a mile from his home. It's unknown how his body got there.
I don't think Lou knew what was going on. He was pretty much out of it.
But Heenan, like many others, are wondering, how was Lowry not seen before?
I was just surprised that nobody saw him here. And I drive by here 5 times a day.
Police say a slant in the field is what may have stalled the discovery of Lowry's body. Those who knew him say they're happy to have some answers.
Sad closure at that, but at least they won't be wondering.
The final cause of death is pending toxicology and histology results. I'm Jessica Cook. Back to you. Good evening, I'm Jessica Cook. Eric Green has the night off. We'll get to those stories in a moment, but first, here's Storm Team 19 Chief Meteorologist Chuck Collins with your first look at the forecast. Good morning, Heart of Illinois. You're taking a live look at the East Peoria flyover. A lot of cars out there on the road this morning, but they are being greeted by some rather wet conditions here. It's 6 o'clock and 38 degrees. Welcome to WHOI 19 News Daybreak. I'm Jessica Cook in for Mark Well. The Tazewell County Health Department confirms that a batch of mosquitoes has tested positive for the West Nile virus. Next week on Daybreak, Mark's back, a Book of Mormon preview, and how the Scouts can keep your kid busy this summer. It's almost pool season, and they're already getting their feet wet at the Morton Pool. Cash-strapped local governments are feeling an even stronger pinch after another failure to get a budget deal in Springfield. As we said a moment ago, the governor will be in Pekin today talking about the stopgap funding bill and education funding. Welcome back. Time now 6:50, and it's 36 degrees outside. Illinois Central College is closing in on its pick for its next president, and college officials want to give you the chance to meet all the candidates. Her and my aunt went a couple years ago, and they were like 10 rows back, and they said it was the best concert ever. So I really wanted to see him. What's expected in the overnight hours? More of the same as what we saw last night. Seasonably warm temperatures. We'll wake up with plenty of sunshine in the morning. Winds will continue to be calm. Warm and muggy for the rest of the week, though. Daily chance of showers. Some models saying that they're going to start Tuesday, some on Wednesday. So keep it right here on News 25. We'll keep you updated on that. Clear skies, light winds, seasonal temperatures, and tomorrow, a snapshot of today as well. Mostly sunny skies, a little bit breezy out there. Temperatures are going to be right around the mid-80s. Right now it's 72 in Peoria. Things are starting to cool off a little bit, but the winds are calm out there.